Well, we spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. It's always been a very good place for me. I went to college there. It's always been good. I think Pennsylvania is very important. Florida is very important, obviously. A lot of people talked about Texas, and Texas is, we will have a tremendous victory there based on, everything that you see. This is no longer polls. This is now we're looking at what's happening. It'll be a tremendous victory in Texas. I'm hearing we're doing tremendously well in Arizona. I think we're doing well all over, yeah.
When do you think we'll know a winner, and should every vote be counted no matter how long it takes?
Well, I think you'll know possibly tonight, depending on the extent of a victory. I think you could know tonight. I think the ruling on Pennsylvania was an unfortunate one by the Supreme Court, because I think we should know what happens on the night. Let people put their ballots in earlier. But you have to have numbers. You can't have these things delayed for many days and maybe weeks. You can't do that. The whole world is waiting. This country is waiting, but the whole world is waiting. And a lot of shenanigans, a lot of bad things happen with ballots when you say, oh, let's devote days and days, and all of a sudden the ballot count changes. And you take a look at Philadelphia, the history of Philadelphia politics. No, I don't put people on their honor code. I don't think it's right, and I think it's a very dangerous thing that they've done with that decision. And maybe their wisdom will change that decision, or maybe we'll go back and give them a right to change it. But that's it's a very dangerous decision for this country, what they did with Pennsylvania, and some others also. You have to have a date, and the date happens to be November 3rd, and we should be entitled to know who won on November 3rd. And if somebody comes along and puts a ballot in way late, they shouldn't be. They should put the ballot in earlier. There's no reason why they can't put the ballot in 2 weeks earlier or 1 week earlier. I think it's a very dangerous decision for our country. In many ways, dangerous, in many ways. Yeah.
Will you speak to the American people tonight, regardless of the outcome or not?
Well, I may. I mean, we're going to have to see. We have a big night planned. We're going to have a very big night. I just think we're going to have a tremendous, I think we're going to have, look, I'm looking at different locations, and we're seeing lines of people, and they're wearing a lot of red material, including hats. But no, we're seeing in certain areas that would be Trump areas, we're seeing lines of people that are extended for miles. You're seeing it too. I mean, you don't have to say, but you're seeing it too. So I think we're going to have a great night. But it's politics and it's elections, and you never know. I can say that Texas, Arizona, a few of them are looking really very, very strong. Florida, looking very, very strong. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars in Florida. But the people of Florida, they know I love them and they love me. You know, we just have a automatic bond. Yeah, please.
What are you seeing in Florida, especially in terms of seniors? Are you worried about any slippage there, or do you think?
No, I don't think we're going to have any slippage. I think we're going to have, look, my relationship to seniors. I happen to be a senior. I don't want to say that too loud in this group of people that are averaging about 20 years old. But I don't think we're going to have anything. I think, if anything, we're going to do very well. I have seen, and we have seen, African Americans way up, and Hispanic Americans way up, and people have seen that. And you know, I've said with regard to African American, the black community, I've done more than any other president, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln. And sometimes I say with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln, but let's give him a lot of credit, right? But I've done more than any other president in the history of this country for African American, the black community. And they understand it. Criminal justice reform, prison reform, historically black colleges and universities. You look at what we've done. Opportunity zones with Tim Scott of South Carolina, who's great. Nobody's done what I've done in terms of the African American community. So, and they see it. And they're tired of being used by the Democrats for 100 years. I mean, it's like been 100 years. So I think we're doing very well there, and I've heard we're doing very well with the Hispanic community.
Did you put any of your own money into your campaign?
What's that?
Did you put any of your own money into your campaign?
Well, you'll see that in the filings. But we had plenty of money, I will tell you. We had plenty of money. And what I didn't do is call up Wall Street and say, send me $25 million to the head of every firm. I could have done that. I would have been the all-time king of fundraising if I did that. But once you do that, you can no longer deal properly with them. You just can't. So I didn't do that. We could have done that. I could have raised much more money. I mean, Hillary Clinton spent much more money than I did. And in this case, when they raise that much money, that means to me they're making deals. And that can happen. So thank you very much. We'll maybe see you later. Have an exciting day. And for you, I just appreciate everything you've all done, and we'll see you soon, okay?